Hello everyone, and thank you for watching our presentation on the data analysis for the San Antonio-Bexar County 2020 Point-in-Time Count. I am Brenda Mascotto, the Executive Director of the South Alamo Regional Alliance for the Homeless. Our community presentation is a virtual presentation this year because of COVID-19. But just because we're all social distancing does not mean we take a break from making social change. We have witnessed an incredible amount of community collaboration to help our most vulnerable populations these past few months. The responsiveness of our community to this pandemic is inspirational, and we hope that you will continue to help us strive to prevent and end homelessness for our neighbors in San Antonio. We would like to first and foremost thank our partners, donors, and volunteers who helped make this point-in-time count possible. The point-in-time count is a large undertaking, and it requires months of planning and training to produce not only an accurate count, but a compassionate count. And although we will be talking about data, I would like to remind everyone that we are talking about human beings. We are talking about individuals that are homeless, and we are talking about our neighbors. So first, what is the point-in-time count? HUD requires that continuum of care agencies around the nation conduct an annual count of people experiencing sheltered and unsheltered homelessness in their community. Data from this point-in-time count helps us inform national and local strategies to end homelessness. Sarah, as the COC lead agency for San Antonio-Bexar County, conducted the point-in-time count on the night of January 23, 2020. The point-in-time count is a community partnership. This year we had approximately 385 volunteers participate. Of those volunteers, 50% of them was their first time volunteering for the point-in-time count. 15% of the volunteers had experienced homelessness. Approximately 50% of our volunteers were veterans, and approximately 13% were individuals ages 18 to 24. We also had law enforcement volunteer, and we had 68 SAPD officers assisting throughout the day and 5 Bexar County Sheriff's deputies. Now for our key findings. We will be moving quickly through our slides today and may not go into in-depth explanation for each slide. However, this presentation will be available for you to access online on our SARA website. Our total homeless count increased by 2%. Our total sheltered count decreased by 2%. Our unsheltered count increased by 7%. Our veteran count decreased by 4%. Our chronic homelessness decreased by 15%. Families with children decreased by 1%. Unaccompanied youth increased by 55%. Females increased by 12%. Males decreased by 4%. Transgender stayed the same. Domestic violence survivors decreased by 5%, and downtown count increased by 7%. A few additional important key findings. The average age of homelessness is 38 years old. The percentage of the Black homeless population is 24.4%, which is an increase of more than 2% from 2019. The percentage of white population homeless is 72%, which is a decrease of 1%. Mental health disability is up 21%. The average length of homelessness is 466 days. The average length of the stay of an emergency shelter is 330 days, which is 11 months. The average length of stay in transitional housing is 110 days, which is 3.6 months. The average length of stay in unsheltered is 771 days, which is 26 months, which is more than 1.5 times the average length of homelessness. And now a message from our mayor, Mayor Ron Nirenberg.
Hi, I'm Mayor Ron Nirenberg. I helped kick off the point-in-time count earlier this year, and I'm honored to return to take part in this vital community conversation. While there's always work to be done, the point-in-time count shows that we've made progress in decreasing the number of sheltered homeless over the last 10 years and have decreased the number of homeless who are domestic violence survivors. We should be proud of these accomplishments. In the upcoming year, I hope that we can continue our efforts to understand and mitigate chronic and unsheltered homelessness and work to prevent homelessness among our teens and young adults. As we all work to better understand the impacts of COVID-19, I'm committed to keeping our residents in their homes throughout our recovery process and beyond. So I want to thank Sarah for their tireless efforts and all of the volunteers who participated in the Point in Time Count this year. While our work has just begun, these numbers show that we can end homelessness in our community, but only if we work together. Take care.
Thank you, Mayor Ron Nirenberg, and thank you to all the presenters of this presentation. We are grateful for your time, and we hope that this presentation will spur action to help our most vulnerable population. We will now go into the analysis of the sheltered and unsheltered counts. We have analyzed data over the past 10 years to look at overall trends. There is an overall decrease in the total count by 9% in the past 10 years. Throughout the past 10 years, there was a decrease in the sheltered count by 19% compared with an increase of 8% in unsheltered. Our 2020 numbers indicate that the average length of time homeless is 466 days. The length of time homeless increases with age range. Older adults 25 and older spend more days homeless than any other age group. On the right side of this slide, you can see a breakdown of length of time homeless by race. Regarding unsheltered homelessness, more than 10% of unsheltered have been in the street for no more than 60 days. From the unsheltered homeless count at Haven for Hope Courtyard, we saw a decrease from 2018 to 2020. There is a 4% decrease from 2019 and a 17% decrease from 2018. Half of the unsheltered in Haven for Hope Courtyard are between the age of 45 and 61. 16% of the unsheltered at Haven for Hope Courtyard are 62 years old and above. 71% of the unsheltered at Haven for Hope Courtyard are white and 27% are black. And now a few words from the CEO and President of Haven for Hope, Kenny Wilson.
My name is Kenny Wilson. I'm the President and CEO of Haven for Hope, and Point in Time Count is a very important feature of thinking about homelessness in every city. I've been at Haven for 4 years now and have been involved in every Point in Time Count. I enjoy doing it. I learn from it. Mainly we get kind of directional guidance from the effort itself and from the data. The topic of the unsheltered homeless, the population of the homeless that don't have shelter, is always a particular concern, and indeed this last Point in Time Count showed a rise in that. And it has risen over the last 10 years. Don't know exactly if there are differences in the process 8 or 10 years ago, but I think directionally that's probably right. Reasons for that are many, I think. One is our city is growing. I think it's grown 15, 16% over the last 10 years. Last year, some official gave me a count of 500 new people a day in San Antonio. There's a commensurate rise in homelessness, unsheltered population in that regard. Real estate. Rentable, affordable real estate is an issue. We have people at Haven for Hope that had been priced out of their apartment. We've talked to landlords. They say, sorry, the market demands it. My taxes are up. So there's people on the margin with their rent and mortgages, and as those grow, they just get priced out. Lack of affordable housing. The mayor's working hard on that. The lack of permanent supportive housing where services are provided to those who need it most. And now on homelessness and unsheltered homelessness, we have coronavirus and the resulting economic downturn. We'll see where that goes, but I have to believe with the number of jobs that are lost, knowing so many people kind of live on the edge anyway, I think homelessness is going to grow, and probably the unsheltered homeless. We've got to figure out a way to shelter people with affordable housing, safe, affordable places to live. It's a number that's growing, and we need to pay attention to it.
Thank you, Kenny, for your dedication and commitment to our community. And now we will look at chronic homelessness. The total count of chronic homelessness is 293, which is a 15% decrease from 2019 and a 55% decrease over the past 4 years. The average age of chronically homeless is 46 years old with a minimum age of 19 and a maximum age of 82. The average length of time homelessness is 1,265 days, 42 months, or 3.5 years. Now to turn to our veteran numbers. The total count of veterans is 206, which is a 4% decrease from 2019 and a 10% decrease over the past 4 years. The average age of our homeless veteran is 52 years old with a minimum age of 18 and a maximum age of 80. The average length of homelessness is 388 days. For families with children, the count was 271. This is a decrease from 2019 of 1%, but it has increased by 12% over the past 4 years. On the right, we have a comparison of this population and those without children. Next, we will discuss the geography as it pertains to the point-in-time count numbers. Here is a map of the City Council districts in San Antonio. Let's start with the increases. We saw an increase in District 2 of 28%, an increase in District 3 of 14%, an increase in District 4 of 11%. The largest increase is in District 5 of 174%. An increase in District 7 of 62%. The second largest increase is in District 10 of 169%. We saw a decrease in District 1 of 21%, a decrease in District 6 of 24%, and the largest decrease is in District 8 of 57%. No change in District 9. The downtown count analysis shows that we counted 169 unsheltered, which is a 20% increase from 2019. Additionally, there were some observations made to the unsheltered count. 49% were in makeshift shelter, 10% were in tents, 9% were in cars, and 5% were in vans. We now have a new point-in-time count dashboard available in Sarah's website. The dashboard highlights several homeless indicators we're reporting to HUD and other additional metrics and changes from the 2019 to the 2020 count. Next, we will focus on demographics. Regarding age, average age is 38 years old, medium age is 39, maximum age is 82, average age of homeless females is 34, average age of homeless males is 40. 168 are 5 years old or younger, 218 are 62 years and over. Regarding gender, female count is 1,175, which is a 12% increase from 2019. Male count is 1,746, which is a 4% decrease from 2019. Trans and non-conforming gender is 10 or 1%. Regarding ethnicity, percent of Hispanic and non-Hispanic slightly changed from last year. In 2019, we saw 50% non-Hispanic to 46% Hispanic. And in 2020, we saw 53% non-Hispanic to 47% Hispanic. Regarding race, 72% of the population homeless individuals are white. This is a 1% decrease from last year. 1% are Native American. 24.4% total homeless individuals are Black, which is a 2.4% increase from last year. 0.5% are Asian. 2% are multiracial, and 0.1% are Pacific Islander. Now we will delve into special populations. Regarding those with mental health disability, we had an overall increase of 21% of the homeless population with mental health disability from 2019. 23% increase in emergency shelter, 42% increase in transitional shelter or housing, and 16% increase in unsheltered. For those with substance use, total substance use is at an 18% increase from 2019 with a count of 576. We have a breakdown on gender on the right-hand side. For domestic violence, total domestic violence survivors is 388, which is a decrease of 5% from last year. Ratio of male to female domestic violence survivors is 1 to 2.5. The average age of a domestic violence survivor is 40. The minimum age is 18. The maximum age is 82. The average time of homeless is 334 days. And now a few words from Marta Peláez, President and CEO of Family Violence Prevention Services.
I'm Marta Peláez, President and CEO of Family Violence Prevention Services. It's emergency shelter program, the Battered Women and Children Shelter. We participate in the PointinTime Count every year. Those fleeing domestic violence who arrive at the Battered Women and Children Shelter are homeless, according to the HUD definition of homelessness. In our opinion, the PointinTime Count, whether is higher or lower than the previous year, does not necessarily mean that there is more or less domestic violence in our community. Homelessness related to the victims of domestic violence has a lot to do with their very particular circumstances. They face barriers that sometimes forces them to be in shelter for longer periods of time. The PointinTime Count is just a slice of a picture of what homelessness is in terms of numbers in our city. Domestic violence occurs and fluctuates many times depending to what is happening in the city. During Fiesta, for example, the numbers increase tremendously. They increase around the holidays. They increase around the later months of summer. And now, of course, we have before us COVID-19, which will impact the numbers in different ways as well. Education and supportive services need to be part of any comprehensive approach that is given to the victims of domestic violence who find themselves in homelessness situations. If they are to attain self-sufficiency, housing is extremely important, alongside with healthcare, education, job training, and job availability, bilingual services, daycare, initiatives for the children who are also victims of domestic violence. So the economic abuse is perhaps the most salient feature of domestic violence that we see in victims that stay at our shelter for extended periods of time. So that has to be addressed in a very aggressive way. PointinTime is a very important initiative that relies on the help of many volunteers and staff members. To my staff and all of those volunteers that give of themselves to bring to us those very important numbers, my sincerest gratitude and thank you from the bottom of my heart on the part of the community.
Thank you, Marta, for your leadership and determination. Unaccompanied youth. We counted 152 unaccompanied youth, an increase of 55%, 5% of the total homeless population. For parenting youth, we counted 26, which is a 73% increase from 2019. The average age is 21, the minimum age is 18, the maximum age is 24. The average length of homelessness is 183 days. For youth aging out of foster care, 163 individuals counted aged out of foster care, which is 6% of the total count. Length of time homeless was 546 days, which is 90 days longer than the aggregated average length of time homeless. 38% of them are female, 61% of them are male, 1% transgender or non-conforming gender. Their age ranges are 18 to 62, with almost 60% between ages 25 to 44. And now the thoughts and perspective of our Youth Action Board about our youth count.
I believe that the numbers we collected for the PointinTime Count only give us a glimpse into the issue San Antonio is facing. So I think a lot of things have happened in the past year that have caused those numbers to rise. But I also believe that our community needs to reassess how we're dealing with this issue and do it in a data-driven way, so we're actually able to see a decrease in these numbers.
I believe that the reasons why the numbers have risen is because there's not enough services or resources. A lot of the YAB members have background and knowledge about being homeless, drug abuse, coming from broken families. They just bring different knowledge and different opinions. And that's what we are doing to try to help lower these numbers and try to help the youth out there and help our community, because without that, what's going to happen? The numbers are going to rise again.
The numbers concern me a little, especially with regards to the youth, because the youth are an important part of our community. They're supposed to be our future. We're supposed to grow as a community and help them grow. I just want to say thank you to Pitt and to everyone involved that's helped with Pitt.
We are so proud of our Youth Action Board, and we would like to thank them for their participation in this presentation. We will be discussing the aging population and their susceptibility to COVID-19. Aging adults, facts. Homeless population aged 10 to 20 years beyond their chronological age. Pulmonary disease among homeless population is at a rate between 20 and 30% compared to 10% among the general public. 40% infection rate among unsheltered population. Research recommends to add about 40% to the total point-in-time count of unsheltered individuals will account for a year-long estimate. With that said, this year we counted a 9% increase in adults ages 50 and over that are chronically homeless. We counted 32% increase in adults 50 years or older with physical disabilities, and a 27% increase in adults 50 years or older with serious mental illness. Of aging adults who are 50 years and over, we counted 781, which is a 27% of the total homeless count, an increase of 50% from 2019. Of aging adults 55 years and over, the count is 600, which is 20% of the total sheltered and unsheltered. The majority of them, 366 or 61%, are unsheltered. 211, 35%, have chronic health conditions. 210 have substance use issues. 133 are chronically homeless. 309 have mental health issues. And now a few words from Gloria Vasquez, Director of Aging and Veteran Programs at the Alamo Area Council of Governments.
My name is Gloria Vasquez. I'm the Director of Aging and Veterans Programs at the Alamo Area Council of Governments. The 2020 point-in-time count results demonstrated and validated the need for continued housing resources for older adults. The data reflects a 50% increase in the number of homeless individuals aged 50 years and older. In addition, we also learned that 20%, or 1 out of every 5 homeless individuals in our area, are 55 years and older. The data also provides critical information needed for local partners to prioritize the development of sufficient affordable housing units and other housing initiatives appropriate for older adults living on limited resources and facing health challenges. Older adults on fixed incomes become displaced through evictions resulting from loss of income, increase in rents, and increased family violence. The regional community should consider adopting policy priorities that support increasing low-income housing opportunities and homelessness prevention initiatives. Older homeowners also need assistance to address code compliance fines and much-needed major home repairs to help them avoid displacement. There is a link between health and housing. Having a home and a safe place to live makes a person strong, with a strong sense of security and greater well-being. Using the point-in-time data will assist us together as a community and help this vulnerable population of older adults. Thank you to all of those involved with Point in Time.
Thank you, Gloria, for all that you do for our aging community. We appreciate your participation. We have some data that is specific to street medicine. Health insurance. For those that responded to this question, the majority of the responses, 248, which comprises of 78% of the total responses, do not have health insurance. 38% got flu shots in the past 2 years. 52% did not have transportation or access for medical appointments, and 55% said they needed help to get an ID. Homelessness today. This last slide is a snapshot of homelessness in San Antonio and Bexar County. We have also prepared a point-in-time count report that will be placed on our website. If you have any questions about this presentation, please submit them to Contact Sarah by next Thursday, May 21st. We will prepare responses to these questions and post them on our website. Thank you all for making everyone count.